Hi, everybody. I'm going to get you to start by lying on your mat. We're entering into a yin class right now. We've got about 40 minutes, 35 minutes. And tonight's practice is going to be all about the lower body. So it's going to be a nice stretch for the quads, the hamstrings, and our toes are even going to get a little stretch. So lie down on your back. You have a couple of options. You can have your knees bent. If your back's feeling, a little bit tender, those knees bent always help that way. If it's not, just bring your legs nice and long. Bring your arms down by the side of your body. Maybe wiggle into your mat like it's a nice warm beach or a nice heated blanket. Know that this next little bit is just for you, by you. So when we do yin, we want to make sure that we find that Goldilocks position. So not too little, not too much, just right, so that our connective tissues, our fascia, can kind of open up and melt for us. So bring your awareness to your breath. Let everything soften. You might want to close your eyes, or you can just flutter them. Soften your cheeks and your eyes and your jaw. And bring your awareness to your breath. Acknowledge your inhales. Identify with your exhales. Feel your belly rise. Feel your belly sink. And if your knees are bent, let's bring both legs nice and long. Make some circles, maybe with your toes and your ankles. Maybe wiggle your toes. Soften through your knees. Soften your legs. Maybe rock side to soften your buttocks, soften those glutes. Acknowledge them on the back of your mat. And then we're going to bring the left leg into our chest on the inhale, and then you're going to bring the knee over towards your shoulder. Hang out here for a few breaths. Got our spine nice and realigned here. A little adductor work on that inner thigh. Take that leg nice back long. Bring the opposite knee into your chest. Hold it there for a breath. And then move the knee towards either the shoulder or the outside of your shoulder. And when we're grabbing our knee, we want to be cognizant, aware that you're not going to be grabbing the top of the kneecap. You want to protect that. So underneath the knee or underneath the thigh, wherever feels good for you to bring it in. Then bring the other knee up. Both are going to be wide. Flex your feet. So you're into kind of a lying happy baby. Let's see if you can take your knees a little further up and a little wider away. And then soften your feet, soften your ankles, and bring your awareness to the inner thighs. Take a nice long inhale. And take a nice long exhale. Let's inhale one more time. On the exhale, we're gonna bring the feet to the ground, to the outside of your mat, knees up towards the sky. Bring your arms into a T position. Take a nice big inhale. And we're gonna drop both knees over to the right. Now only go as far as your shoulders will stay anchored to the ground. Now if one of your knees is right up, you can take the block, bring it right underneath. Get some support, it can come underneath your knee, it can come underneath your thigh. And you're just bringing the ground closer to your body. And that lets us sink in. When we're doing our yin practice, we want to be able to sink in, settle in, hold a shape, let that lower body open up for us. Soften your upper body. Maybe take a nice big swallow here. Just stay with your breath. And on your next inhale, we're going to bring the knees back up to the center. And then we're going to let the knees drop into one another. So you may have to bring your feet a little closer towards each other, and then let the knees fall in. Take your arms up overhead, and the back of your hands kiss the ground, kiss the earth. But soften through those shoulders. You're not reaching. It's a stretch, but not a what's it called, you're not on a conveyor belt or a stretch machine. And bring your arms back to the T with the palms up. Walk your feet wide again. Take a nice big inhale. On your exhale, use gravity. Let the knees fall to the left. You might be a little tighter on one side than the other. So again, feel free to find your blocks and put your blocks underneath your thigh, underneath both knees, whatever feels good. Let everything get heavy. And let everything melt. Maybe let your fingers curl in a little bit so they're nice and soft. Got a few more breaths here. And on your next inhale, you're going to bring the knees back up. And once again, bring those feet a little closer to let the knees fall and support one another. This time, bring the arms to cactus arms. So bend at the elbows. Bring the palms down. Back of the hands kiss the earth. Again, if you want to let those fingers curl in. You get heavy here. Let your belly get heavy. Let your back, your lower back, your lumbar back get really nice and heavy. And then we'll bring the knees back up. You're going to bring both knees into your chest. Give them a little hug. And then reach up between your knees to grab the soles of your feet. We're moving into a happy baby. But but because it's yin, we're not going to rock our baby unless you're really dying to. So bring the feet away from one another, and then bring the knees down towards the ground. If you're having difficulty reaching up to grab the soles of your feet, you can grab your ankles or your thighs, but you can also grab your strap, bring it across the balls of your feet, but make sure that your feet come away and then drive those knees down the ground. Tailbone's going to stay connected to the earth because you're not rolling back. Find that stretch for the top of your legs. You connect to your quads here. And breathe. Know that the longer we stay in this position, the more the muscles will loosen, the connective tissue will loosen, create lots of space, and that'll help us, not just our athletic performance, but our everyday stuff that we want to do. How we want to age, how we want to live long. Live long and not in pain. So giving back to your muscles. Now just come out of it for a little bit, like so let your hands go. Maybe move your toes, and then let's go back into it and see if we bring a little bit, the knees a little closer to the ground. Did we create a little bit of space there? Got a few more breaths here. And on your next breath, just slowly start to bring your feet back in line with your hips. Drop the feet down to the ground. Keep the knees bent. Bring your arms down by the side of your body. And let's just kind of relish in this shape for a couple of breaths. Soften your belly. Soften your chest. Soften your quads. Soften your knees. From here, we're going to move into a lying butterfly. So you'll want access to your 2 blocks. And we're going to bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall away from one another. Now here, entirely up to you. You can bring the feet closer towards the pelvic bone or make the diamond shape a little longer. But wherever you're going to land and land there tonight, then I want you to bring, unless your knees are completely touching the ground, I would like you to take your blocks, bring them underneath the thighs, underneath maybe the thighs and the calves, so that you can really let everything get heavy. You don't have to hold it up. The block is going to hold you. Arms, let's bring them into a diamond shape. So bend the elbows, bring them up over the top of the arm. One hand can sit on top of the other. Entirely up to you. We're going to hang out here for a bit in a nice long yin opening of the thighs and the hips. Maybe when we lie here for this nice one, why don't we try to bring our brain into the world of gratitude for a second. You think of 3 things that you're grateful for. Maybe it's your morning cup of tea. Maybe it's your fitness instructor. Maybe it's the season, spring has come. Keep it for a little longer, but if you want to maybe move the block out, see if you create a little bit of space. And maybe the block will just come partially under the thigh. Still, I want you to be able to get nice and heavy and nice and deep. And if you want to change your arm position, maybe the other palm's on top. Maybe you're both cactus arms. With each breath, the knees are falling closer to the earth. You can visualize your muscles inside your legs, inside your skin, getting nice and soft, pliable. That's what we want. Nice and pliable. We shorten, we lengthen, we shorten, we lengthen. Let's find some space in it. Got about another minute there. So are you holding tension in your hips? During yin, we want to find that stress. But we don't want it to be tension. Let's take the blocks away. So let the legs be. Maybe the diamond shape gets a little longer. Bring your hands down by your thighs. And slowly use your fingertips to guide those knees back up. Let's bring our knees into our chest. Give them a little hug. So maybe draping your hands over top of your shins, realigning your spine, realigning your back. And soft. Now you got a couple of options. You can drop your knees to one side, or you can start to rock back and forward along your spine until you rock yourself right up and then right over onto your knees, onto tabletop type position here. So bring those blocks to the front of your mat so you've got that handy. While we're in table, I know it's not very yin-y, but let's just move our spine for a minute. Whichever way you like. So you can drop your head, you can wiggle your hips side to side, whatever feels nice for you. We're going to curl our toes, and then you're going to walk your hands back towards your body, and then coming up right onto your hands onto your thighs, or you can bring your hand blocks up and just rest your hands onto the block. You're not really pressing anything. I don't want you to press up yet. And so just find that length where you can just kind of settle the fingertips, settle your palms down. But the toes are going to be curled. Now look back before we get right into this rock pose, toe pose. That all of your toes, spread them if you can. All of your toes are connected to the ground, connected to the earth. Then I want you to roll your shoulders back and down. and then press a little bit into your blocks to find that sweet spot. You might have to come forward. If your toes are screaming, you're not going to put your full body weight on. Some of us are old enough to have abused our toes into those high heels. Click, click, click through the opposites. And this might be a little tight. We're not going to be holding this for really long. Now, you had 3 things that you were grateful for. Can you think of them now? All right, we're gonna come back down onto all fours, uncurl the toes, let them kiss the top of your mat, just hold them there for a second. Tops of the feet connected to the ground. And then if you want to get them a little flat, you can do that. It's kind of nasty, isn't it? All right, we're gonna go back through, sink back into your hips. This might be a challenge, but I'll get you there some way. Okay, you're gonna sink back, walk the heels, the feet, the knees away from one another. Using your hands, lift one foot, lift the other foot, come down into a yogi squat. Now, on a yogi squat, because we're doing yin, you can bring a block and you can sit down on it. Wonderful. Entirely up to you. So find that spot where you can bring your arms by your inner thighs, and then you're going to use your elbows. Join your fingers, use your elbows to push the inner thighs and the knees away. So you can play with it, see what it feels like. You get the, if you want to come right down off the block, entirely up to you. And then kind of just settle in here and breathe. So find the spot where you're not going to, where you've got the thighs opened. And then back your arms off, so your arms aren't really engaged any longer. But you're going to hold your legs there. And you're going to breathe. More breaths. This next part, you're going to have to listen. So if you're on the long edge of your mat, like I am, we're going to rotate, keeping the right leg bent. You're going to take the left leg long behind you. So you're coming down into a low lunge. Grab your block. Now I don't want you on that knee. I want you to slide that leg back so it's not on the knee. If you want to roll your mat up, give yourself a little bit more cushioning there. You can now heel toe that front foot to the outside corner of your mat. Bring your hands both on the inside of your legs, of your knee, and then you're going to walk down either onto your forearms, or you can bring the block up onto the forearms, or up onto your elbows, and then I want you to roll out here onto the outside of that foot. So I want you to create some space to the outside so it can come up. Lots going on here. So that front leg's getting the hip flexor, or the hip extension, opening up. Back leg is getting the quad. They call this baby dragon. And breathe, sink, melt, get heavy. Take one more big breath here. And then we'll just walk the hands up. Move the block out of the way. Now keep the block close. We're gonna go into half monkey. So I'm gonna bring that foot back in line with your body, so you're kind of in cross-country skis. The block is going to either come right under your knee or right under your calf. You're gonna find a spot right there, and then you're gonna bow down into that leg. Kind of half splits, monkey. Now, if you slide your back knee back a little bit more, create more space into your legs. Bow your head, be respectful. Big stretch for the back of the hamstring. Big stretch for that quad. I don't know about you, but my legs are feeling this one. Must mean it really needs it. All right, so slide that leg back up. Come on out of that. So you're back kind of into your low lunge, and we're gonna rotate all the way around your mat. So your opposite foot's up. Take that back leg long. Bring your arms inside the leg. Walk the foot to the outside corner. Roll onto the outside of the mat. On the right side of your legs. Find your block. Find your forearms. And sink. And breathe. What a great investment we're giving our legs, our lower body tonight. More breaths. Great. Let's walk our hands back up. Heel toe that foot back in, and you're gonna slide it forward. Find a spot where the block. Mine start down really low down in my calf. Bend down into it, and then start to walk the back leg back. And maybe you're coming right down. Maybe your body wants to stay up, but bow your head. Let everything get heavy. Let everything soften. Couple more breaths. Then slowly drag that heel back in. Take both feet, so you're coming down. Both knees are in line. Press yourself into a child's pose. So a nice narrow knee child's pose. Drop your head forward, your forehead down on the ground. Do a couple breaths here. Then lift your head, lock your hands up. We're gonna just drop our glutes over to one side, but before you get down on the mat, you're gonna find your strap. So we're gonna come back, lying onto our back. You do need your block, at least one block handy, but it's always nice to have both blocks on both sides, down towards your hips. Line one up. All right, we're gonna do a nice hamstring stretch now. So let's start with the right side of our body. So hook your strap over top of your foot, and then with the knee bent, you're going to press the leg straight, press the heel towards your ceiling. So you do want your legs straight, and then using the strap, bring your toes towards your forehead. Find that spot where you go, oh, I can feel a little bit of stress. No pain, stress. And I know if I hold it here, that hamstring's gonna love me. Press through your heel, toes towards your forehead. Now, if you can bring your arm down by your body so that your arm's not up in the air, let the back of your arm relax. And then let's slowly drop the foot away from our body, keeping the tension on the strap, but you will have to let it go a little bit. Try to keep your torso straight, try to keep your shoulders anchored. Take that foot as long as we can go, and then can you bring it up towards your shoulder? Another big stretch for the inner thigh, your adductors, as well as your hamstrings. And the ankle's getting a bit of a stretch here too. And slowly, now when I say slow, really slow, start to walk your hands back up that strap to bring the leg back up towards the sky. All right, you can either remove the strap or you can leave it on, that does not matter. But you're going to take that ankle and cross it over your left foot. Open up your thigh. Bring your arms into a T. Take a nice big inhale, and then on your exhale, you're going to rock over to the left. And you're going to either bring your foot onto a block or onto the ground. See if you can get right to the ground. So now we're going to take our left hand and reach for our right ankle. Take your head and neck, take it to gaze over your right fingertips. Nice stretch for your IT band here. So that's that muscle that comes across the top of the outside of the thigh, across the knee. Couple more breaths here. I think we should have 75 minutes again. And then rock back up. Uncross the legs, bring your knees together, your feet together, bring your arms down by your side, and just neutralize, reestablish, relish into this. Maybe you're feeling some pulsing, some movement, some blood flow. All right, we're going to take that over to the other side. So grab your strap, hook it over the left foot, bend in the knee, and then slowly straighten the foot, push the heel towards the ceiling. Walk your hands up your strap, bring your toes towards your forehead, and then slide your arm down so that it can come beside your body. You give this hamstring a little bit of love. Press your heel up towards the ceiling. You bring that toes a little closer. And then And slowly, let's drive the foot away from our body, take the leg away. Now keeping that other knee and hip anchored, keeping the shoulders anchored. I have to let go of that strap a little bit. Keep the shoulders down, and then bring the toes up, a little higher up. Couple breaths here. Let's slowly bring that leg back up. We're gonna let go of the strap. We're gonna cross that ankle over our opposite knee. Using your left hand, create some space in that hip flexor. So pushing that thigh away. And then take a nice big inhale, and you're going to drop the knees over to the right, or the feet over to the right. Either using your block to put your foot on, or the foot comes right down to the ground. Grabbing your ankle with your right hand, left hand comes into a T, and your gaze looks over your left fingertips. And let everything soften, let your belly soften. Let's take 3 more breaths. Nice and long, nice and slow. And slowly let go of the ankle, over around, back up, uncross your legs. Bring feet together, knees together, arms by your side. And land. Let's bring our knees back into our chest one more time. Reach to grab the feet if you can. Bring the feet away a little bit, and then I want you just to kind of grab your toes, give them a massage or give them a squeeze, move them in, move them out. Take your big toe, bring it towards your body. Reach and grab with your thumb, massage your arches, massage your ankle. Take both legs nice and long. Bring the heels to the outside corner of your mat. Bring your arms down by your side with your palms up. Close your eyes. Soft. Sit. Melt. And succumb. Try a couple of minutes of quiet, stillness. So everything we just put our body through can transition deep into our core.
And on your next breath, make some small movements with your fingers and your toes. Maybe rock your head side to side. Bring both arms straight up ahead of your body. Join your fingers and join your thumbs, and bring your thumbs down to your forehead. You can continue to stay right where you are if you'd like a longer Shavasana. Nice namaste. My heart to yours. Thank you for taking such good care of your body and investing in this whole practice tonight. Namaste.